Welcome back to Comic Issues Daily, presented by I Have Comic Issues. I'm Bryant, your host, and today we got a jam-packed lineup from DC's landmark GlobalComix deal and the long-awaited Deadpool Batman crossover to Captain America's darkest turn yet, a new era for Ninja Turtles, and even a controversial Red Hood cancellation that has collectors scrambling. Plus, Punisher quietly moves up the in resale value. Marvel revives the Swimsuit Special, and Wonder Woman hits a milestone. Marc Silvestri returns to the darkness, and we got more news than the Bugle or the Planet. Let's get into it. All right, before we get started, everybody, please remember to support Brandon from Mon Comics. He and his family had a house fire 2 Sundays ago, and they lost the entire house. We are supporting their GoFundMe. Here's the link to the GoFundMe right here. If you can contribute, that's great. I don't know exactly how close they are to hitting the goal, but if you can contribute, anything is welcome. Please check that out. Thank you very much. And DC Comics has made a landmark move in digital publishing by partnering with GlobalComix to bring its entire line to the comics to the platform, day and date of release. As David Harth at comicbook.com reports, this means that every new DC issue will be available digitally the same day it hits comic shops, removing the lag that digital readers often face. Even bigger, DC is opening up a massive back catalog of more than 30,000 issues that stretch across nearly 9 decades of publishing history. From classics like Watchmen and Crisis on Infinite Earths to modern runs still fresh in comic minds, it's all being rolled out on GlobalComix. Heidi McDonald at the Beat emphasized that this expansion goes beyond subscribers. Readers can now purchase issues a la carte, making access easier for casual fans. To celebrate the launch, DC and GlobalComix are running special promotions between September 17th and September 30th, including curated collections such as Batman Day 2025, Summer of Superman, spanning from Superman #1 in 1939 through All-Star Superman, and even Eisner Award 2025 collection. This shows a strategic push not only to highlight cornerstone titles, but also to entice new readers who may have been hesitant to explore DC's digital library. The move also signals out a potential shift in how collectors and readers interact with comics. With Comixology long gone, the digital marketplace has been scattered, and GlobalComix could emerge as a new hub for mainstream superhero content. For collectors, the availability of once hard-to-find stories might impact demand for certain back issues, making high-grade physical copies more about rarity and nostalgia than story access. But for readers who just want to dive in, this initiative removes barriers and creates a one-stop shop for DC's past, present, and future. Do you see this as the future of comic reading, or will print always be king? Drop your thoughts below and let me know which DC classic you'll be revisiting first on GlobalComix. I love holding a book in my hand, but I gotta say, access is king. So being able to read it digitally is always great when I need it. All right. After decades of fan speculation, the long-awaited Marvel DC crossover has finally arrived with DC Deadpool Batman #1, and the first reviews say it delivers on every level. It came out yesterday at the comic shops. And Spencer Perry at comicbook.com describes the issue as a wild, fourth wall breaking ride that stays true to both characters' voices while still feeling like a fresh event. Batman's brooding detective work collides head on with Deadpool's chaotic humor, and the story doesn't shy away from poking fun at both universes' tropes. The art is bold, fast paced, and packed with cameos and Easter eggs that reward sharp eyed readers. What makes this crossover stand out is how naturally the two characters' worlds clash. Perry highlights how the book uses Gotham's gritty setting as a backdrop for Deadpool's meta commentary creating a unique dynamic that avoids feeling like a forced mashup. The creative team, including Ryan North and Ryan Stegman, ensure Batman remains grounded and true to his mythos while letting Deadpool run wild without completely overwhelming the tone. Early readers' reactions online echo this balance, calling the issue a rare crossover that feels both authentic and unpredictable. Beyond the novelty, this issue taps into decades of pent up fan excitement. DC and Marvel crossovers have been rare in modern comics, and this one feels like a statement. When handled with care, cross company stories can still generate major buzz. Collectors are already eyeing Deadpool Batman #1 as a potential long term hold, with speculation that later printing could spike if the story becomes a cult classic. For now, the consensus is simple. After 30 years of waiting, this comic was worth the hype. Uh, did Deadpool Batman live up to the expectation, or are you hoping for something different? Drop your review in the comments and tell me your favorite moment or Easter egg from this historic crossover. I myself, I haven't been able to pick up a copy yet. I am planning on getting this. This is one that I do want just for the sheer fun of it. I don't care about the long-term spec on it. Just for the fun, I think it'd be a cool one to get. And then we got Captain America has always stood for moral clarity, but in the latest arc, that image is being pushed through some of the darkest territory the character has ever seen. Spencer.com reports that writer Chip Zdarsky is taking Steve Rogers' replacement, David Colton, into a brutal new chapter where the lines between heroes and soldier blur. In this storyline, Colton faces a moral, complex battlefield situation that results in tragic civilian casualties. A shocking twist that forces readers to question whether the mantle of Captain America can ever truly live up to its ideals. Zdarsky Tate doesn't shy away from showing the cost of heroism in warlike scenarios, and Perry highlights how Colton's Captain America is written less as a symbol and more as a flawed human grappling with impossible choices. The issue pulls Cap into moral gray areas rarely explored in past runs, putting him in stark contrast to the iconic Steve Rogers. This shift gives the story both a contemporary edge and a fresh sense of danger. It's not just about fighting villains, it's about the consequences of every decision. For longtime fans, this is a bold but risky approach. Some readers are praising the grounded war drama feel, while others feel it risks alienating fans who see Captain America as the unshakable ideal. Still, stories like this can redefine characters from a new generation, and Zdarsky's willingness to push boundaries may prove transformative. Whether you love it or hate it, this version of Cap shows that even the brightest symbol can cast dark shadows when the stakes are high. Do you think pushing Captain America into this darker, morally gray territory strengthens the character, or does it betray what he's supposed to stand for? Let me know where you land in the comments. All right, and then we have Aaron Pierre at comicbook.com notes that Wonder Woman 25 pushes Diana to a pivotal moment where her potential future shines bright. But her present day struggles weigh heavily on her. This milestone issue positions Wonder Woman as the heart of DC mythos, while hinting at the direction her stories could take moving forward. The creative team delivers a mix of classic heroism and grounded conflict, showing Diana fighting not just superpowered enemies, but also the societal forces that often try to diminish her voice. It's a story that feels both timeless and very much for the moment. The review highlights how the issue explores Wonder Woman's legacy while still wrestling with the tension of the present. On one hand, Diana embodies the compassion and justice in a way that sets her apart, even from Superman and Batman. On the other, the narrative doesn't ignore the political and cultural hurdles she faces, drawing attention to the difficulties of maintaining those ideals in a cynical world. The result is a story that feels less like a standalone adventure and more like a statement on what Wonder Woman means today. Visually, the book is described as a showcase, stunningly illustrating action sequences, giving readers the expected spectacle, but quieter moments capture Diana's resilience and humanity. For a long time, fans For the longtime fans, it reassures that Wonder Woman remains a cornerstone of the DC universe. While for new readers, it serves as a reminder that her battles are as much about hope and perseverance as they are uh, la- about some villains. Okay, sorry. Wonder Woman shows the future of Diana is full of promise, even if that present demands she keeps fighting harder than ever. Do you think Wonder Woman 25 captures the essence of Diana's character, or are her stories losing impact in the current DC line? Let me know in your thoughts below. And according to Aaron Pierre at comicbook.com, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle franchise is stepping into a brand new era, one that aims to respect its legacy while also opening the doors to fresh storytelling. The latest phrase, building off the long-running IDW series, positions the Turtles not only as fighters against their classic foes, but also involving characters who face a world very different from their 1980s roots. The creative team emphasizes that this shift is not just about reinventing the look or tone, but about expanding the emotional depth of Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael for longtime fans and new readers alike. Pierre points out this new direction is a chance to reset the Turtles' mythology without discarding what has made them beloved for decades. That means the family bond at the heart of the story remains central, but the stakes now feel larger with fresh allies and villains being introduced. Importantly, the IDW run has consistently shown a willingness to balance nostalgia with bold risks, and this new era continues that tradition by letting the Turtles grow while still honoring the martial art, mystics, and street level grit that defines them. Visually and thematically, the series leans into both action and heart, while fans can expect plenty of high energy battles against mutants and crime bosses. The promise for this new chapter lies in the character growth, how these brothers adapt to change and redefine the roles in the shifting world. From readers who grew up on cartoons or movies, this new starting point feels like an accessible gateway. For hardcore comic fans, it's the evolution of one of the most consistent runs in modern comics. Are you ready to follow the Ninja Turtles into the next phase, or do you prefer them locked in their classic style and story? Tell me in the comments what you hope to see in this brand new era of TMNT. And Evan Valentine at comicbook.com recently spotlighted 10 Marvel retcons that flew under the radar but had surprising impact on the Marvel universe. Retcons are nothing new to comics, but this list shows that not every change is about grabbing headlines. Some are about fixing inconsistencies or enriching character backstories. Among the retcons highlighted are Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver origins shifting away from Magneto, Iron Man's captivity being updated to match modern conflicts, and Spider-Man organic web shooters introduced in the Sam Raimi films making their way into the comics for a period. Each tweak may not have been universally celebrated, but together they reveal Marvel's ongoing willingness to rewrite its own history to stay relevant. Valentine also calls attention to Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. I always have trouble trying to pronounce that hammer's name. Being sentient for a time, a twist that fundamentally changed the relationship between Thor and his weapon. Another overlooked change was the resurrection of Norman Osborn after his decades-long death, setting up years of storylines from Dark Reigns to his current redemption arc. Other subtle but important shifts include Captain America's World War II adventures being expanded beyond the original Golden Age context, Doctor Doom's motivation reframed to emphasize his tragic flaws, and even small adjustments to Deadpool's early days that deepened his mercenary roots. What ties these retcons together is how they remind readers that continuity in comics is a living thing. Some changes fade, others stick, and a few redefine characters for an entire generation. By highlighting these lesser celebrated adjustments, Valentine shows that not every retcon needs to be controversial or world shattering. Sometimes they simply keep the Marvel Universe moving forward. Which of these Marvel retcons do you think deserves more credit than it gets? And do you enjoy these quiet continuity shifts, or do they frustrate you as a reader? Drop your picks in the comments. And then Image co-founder Marc Silvestri is officially bringing back one of his most iconic creations, The Darkness. As Noah Dominguez at CBR reports, Silvestri and Top Cow are relaunching the series um, with a fresh creative team and a modernized direction while keeping the core concept intact. Originally debuting in the 1990s, The Darkness followed Jacob Escado, a mob hitman who inherits an ancient demonic power that manifests as living shadows and monstrous constructs. The book quietly became a cornerstone of Top Cow's supernatural universe, spawning spin-offs, crossovers, and even a pair of cult favorite video games. The announcement highlights that the new series won't be a single reprint or nostalgia play. Instead, it's framed as a true continuity and continuation that embraces everything that comes before while setting up new mythology for both Jackie and the Darkness entity itself. Dominguez noted that Silvestri is actively involved in shaping this return, ensuring that the book captures the same mix of horror, crime drama, and twisted morality that made the original so distinctive. This means fans can expect plenty of gruesome, imaginative visuals alongside stories that explore the cost of power and corruption. For longtime readers, this marks a major comeback for a series that helped define the late 90s Image era. For newer fans, it's an opportunity to jump into a supernatural saga with the blessing of its original creator. The fact that Silvestri is once again leading the charge suggests that The Darkness isn't just making a return, it's aimed for a full revival that could pull in both nostalgic readers and brand new audiences hungry for something darker in the Image lineup. Are you excited to see The Darkness return under Marc Silvestri's watch? Let me know in the comments whether you're a longtime fan or will this be your first dive into Jackie Escado's world. And then, hey, I know we're getting close to winter, but Marvel is dusting off one of his quirkiest traditions, but with a frosty twist. As Rich Johnson of Bleeding Cool reports, the publisher is preparing a winter swimsuit special, flipping the old 90s gimmick on its head. Back in that decade, Marvel put out annual swimsuit specials that featured pinups of superheroes like Storm, Psylocke, and Captain America lounging on beaches or posing in tropical backdrops. Now, instead of bikinis and beaches, fans will see characters like Spider-Man, Wolverine, and She-Hulk braving snowy landscapes in tongue-in-cheek swimsuit attire designed for winter. Johnson points out that this is both a nostalgic nod and a playful commentary on Marvel's own history. These specials were always more about fun, cheesecake art than continuity, but they became cult favorite collectibles among fans of the era. By moving the concept to a winter setting, Marvel is not only winking at longtime readers, but also reintroducing the idea to a new generation who may have never seen the original swimsuit books. The mix of horror, fan service, and bold art makes this novelty release designed to grab attention both in comic shops and online. For collectors, the Winter Swimsuit Special will likely be one of those oddball issues that becomes more valuable with time, not for story significance, but for its uniqueness. It's a reminder that not everything Marvel puts out has to be universe-shattering. Sometimes it's just about celebrating the character in a fun, slightly absurd way. If the response is strong, we could see Marvel continue experimenting with seasonal twists on their retro publishing ideas. Do you think Marvel's Winter Swimsuit Special is a fun throwback, or is it too silly for today's market? Drop your thoughts below and tell me which hero you're most curious to see bundled up or stripped down in the snow. All right. And then Rich Johnson at Bleeding Cool reported that Red Hood #1 quickly shot up to $40 to $50 on eBay, with aftermarket listings moving for several times cover price just days after release. But the surge wasn't tied to the content of the comic. It came from the controversy. As Corbin Boyles at The Wrap detailed, DC Comics canceled the series on launch day after writer Greta Felker-Martin made inflammatory social media posts. One of the most widely cited comments celebrating the shooting death of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, reading, "Hope the bullet's okay after hitting Charlie Kirk." In other post, Felker-Martin also stated she did not consider police officers to be humans. Those remarks fueled immediate backlash, and DC cut ties with the project. That decision instantly turned Red Hood 1 into a rarity, with all future issues canceled and retailers refunded. The copies that already hit shelves became collectors' targets overnight. Johnson's bleeding cool piece, highlighting the aftermarket spike. Boyle's reporting gives the full picture. It was Felker-Martin's comments, not the content of the issue, that made this book infamous. Within hours of the announcement, listings were closing at 5-time retailer price, and fans scrambled to secure copies before supplies vanished. This is a rare case where controversy outside the panels defined the value of a comic. Normally, price jumps are tied to key issue first appearances or shocking in-story reveals. But in this case, it was the writer's words that drove the demand. Whether Red Hood #1 stabilizes or becomes a long-term scarlet letter collectible is uncertain, but for now it stands as one of the most notorious releases of 2025. A book remembered not for the firestorm it causes, but a book remembered more for the firestorm it caused than for the story it told. Did you grab Red Hood 1 before DC cancellation, or are you watching from the sidelines as prices climb? Drop your thoughts below and let me know if you think this book will hold its $50 tag or settle back down once the controversy fades. I myself, I did pick up a copy, that the last copy my LCS had, just to support them, give them some free money. Also, I'm going to resell it. I'm going to give my whatever I make from this, either go donate to Turning Point USA or give to a police officer charity or something like that. My personal opinion and thoughts. And then, according to ICV2, Marvel has quietly shifted the publishing home of the Punisher line, a move that may have been subtle but carries big implications from how the character is handled. Going forward, historically, Punisher titles have been folded into Marvel's main publishing arm, but this adjustment puts the character under a different imprint, aligning him more closely with specialty projects and potentially giving Marvel greater flexibility in how the controversial anti-hero is presented. While Marvel has not made a flashy announcement, industry watchers note that the change appeared in recent solicitations, sparking questions about whether the publisher is repositioning Frank Castle for the future. The quiet move comes in the wake of years of heated debate surrounding the Punisher logo and its use outside of comics. Marvel has already tried to reframe the character through storylines that stripped him of the iconic skull emblem and reshape his narrative around new weapons and ideologies. Shifting the line's publishing context seems to be another step in distancing the company from past associations while still trying to keep the character alive as part of a broader universe. For readers, it suggests Marvel is testing a soft reset rather than shelving the Punisher entirely. Collectors and fans alike will be watching closely to see what this means for future stories. Will Frank Castle continue as Marvel's most infamous vigilante, or will he be further reimagined for a modern audience? Moving the line without major fanfare could mean Marvel wants to manage the transition gradually, gauging reaction before making louder creative changes. Whatever the outcome, the Punisher's quiet move underscores Marvel's balancing act between preserving a legacy character and addressing the sensitivity that comes with them. Do you think Marvel is right to quietly reposition the Punisher, or should they embrace his legacy head on? Let me know in the comments how you like to see Frank Castle handled in the years ahead. All right, those are our stories for today. Would like to remind everybody that this Sunday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be interviewing Collecting with Durs on Comic Channel Ordinance. So you can learn how he has ran his YouTube channel over the years, how he's grown it from zero to where he's at now. So please check that out on this Sunday. Please bookmark that one. And that's going to be it for today's Comic Issues Daily. I want to hear your takes. Which of these stories hit you the hardest, and which ones are the most exciting to follow? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our channel sponsor, Ron's Comic Closet, and use code IHaveIssues for 20% off your first purchase at checkout. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a show. Thank you for watching, and remember, when it comes to comics, I got issues, and so do you. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye.